try. Always try it, even if it's once, even if it's twice, because don't know what will happen. You can be successful, or it might not, but you know you tried, and that is the main thing. Always keep pushing forward. Don't stop, because if you stop, you die.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast with me, your host, Nefertiti. It's good to be back. When this is being recorded, it's been about 3 weeks. We took a little bit of a hiatus for the holidays, but it's good to be back. This is episode 33, if I remember correctly, and it really is great to be back in the saddle, as it were. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your continued support of the podcast. It really does mean a lot to me. It's so good to be doing this again, and I hope you all are excited for yet another episode of the STP this evening. But before we jump into that, you can see, first of all, I'm wearing a new Avi. This is a new Avi for the time being. This will be my look for the time being. I've changed through a couple over the course of past episodes, and this one I really like, and I couldn't wait to use her for when we came back for the podcast. So this is my new look for the time being. I hope you like her. I think she's pretty cute. And just want to let that be known. But there's also one more thing that I want to let you know about. I want to say thank you to not only all of my viewers who have been supporting the podcast for however long, even if this is your first episode. I appreciate you very much. But I also want to thank my patrons who are single-handedly funding much of the art and the assets that are created for my stream and for my community. So I'm so grateful to all of my patrons, but most importantly, the ones who are really going above and beyond to support me and the content that I'm trying to create and the work that I do. If you're interested in learning more about how you can help and support the content that I'm creating, you are always welcome to go to my Patreon at patreon.com/Nefertiti. That is the best way that you can come through. And if you just want to, come through, hang out with me on my streams, you can always just come to me on Twitch. And you'll get those links at the end of the podcast, as we always do. So thank you again to my patrons. You guys are the best. Appreciate you so much. Alrighty then. So now that we've gone through all of the preambles, all the professional stuff, we can finally get into the meat and potatoes of what you're all here for. So tonight we are joined. Our guest tonight, we are joined by VoidlessGhost. VoidlessGhost is hello. VoidlessGhost is our guest for tonight. He is a world creator, a venue owner, and a DJ as well. And I'm sure there are other things that make up this individual. And tonight we're going to find out a little bit more about what makes this individual tick. And we're going to see what they have to say to of course, my hard-hitting quote-unquote questions. Some people think I ask really difficult questions, but I think I just ask questions that people don't typically ask. So, that's why you're here, after all. All right. So, I hope you guys will stick around, and let's get into the conversation. So, Voidless, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that you're doing amazing. I would certainly hope so. It's it'd be kind of not great for you to be here, answering my questions if you're not feeling up to it. But I appreciate you being up to snuff for tonight's conversation. That's awesome. But I appreciate you being here. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah. So, with that said, are you nervous at all? Are you nervous at all?
Oh, everyone's going to be nervous whenever they invite people.
Oh, really? Not everyone has been nervous to be on my podcast. Not everyone. But I asked because there are a couple of people who have been pretty nervous. But at the end of it, they're always like, "Oh no, that was easy." But you're feeling pretty good right now?
Yes, I am.
Hell yeah. All right. Nice. So, as I typically do with my guests, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of start things off with very, very basic stuff. How about you tell us, just like, who is VoidlessGhost? You can go into as much detail as you'd like, but let everyone know, like, if you had to, share like who you are with somebody, like, who are you, and what do you do, like, what makes you you in this space of known as VRChat.
Ford, all around club owner, DJ, entrepreneur sometimes, poet. Just flow around.
And what about you specifically? Like,
Me? Oh, well, let's see.
obviously, don't dox yourself.
Quirky.
Yeah, but like how would you describe yourself to someone who's who's never met you before? So.
Pretty shy, actually. I'm actually shy, even though I don't show it. But I would say shy, quirky. When I get to know someone, I can be kind of weird.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That works for me. That totally works for me. All right. So why do you think that you're quirky? I mean, I'm inclined to agree because we're buddies. But like, why would you use quirky specifically to describe yourself?
I can do some crazy things sometimes.
Like?
Off the rail.
Like?
Sometimes I will enter a room and I will be loud if I know everyone there.
Okay.
And I will just like run up to everyone.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. All right. So that is how you would describe yourself as quirky. Gotcha. And so you said you were also shy. So I guess to what degree are you shy, and I guess have you always been that way?
Like, yes and no. Younger, not so much. Older, far more shy. Like VR, it's beginning super shy, but once I'm near a lot of friends, I can be very talkative. Random people.
Gotcha. So you said when you were younger, you were not as shy. Why? What changed? What caused you to become shy now?
I would say high school. Not wasn't really a talkable. Kind of like nervous to talk to at that point.
So you were nervous?
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
It's more like a personality change. Like, this happened.
Okay. I can see that. I can understand that. High school is way more difficult than most people I think give it credit for. Like I think both in hindsight and in the moment, high school is pretty tough, pretty rough to go through. It feels like the entire world is like right there. Like that is your entire world. For a lot of people, and it can cause people to, I guess, perceive the world differently, and most definitely perceive themselves differently. So yeah, I can definitely see how that will cause a personality change. Gotcha. So I mean, with that said, essentially, let's talk about. I guess we can keep talking about, like, I guess what ultimately kind of, I guess what kind of led you up to, I guess being who you are now. Because like if you were shy and obviously you said you're quirky, you said you're shy and quirky, which I believe. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to be on a podcast. Most shy people don't like being in the spotlight. So like I guess if you're saying that you are shy, what allows you to be on the podcast tonight?
Determination.
What was that? Determination?
Yeah, determination.
Determination.
To better myself, and be less shy, to be more talkative.
Gotcha. So you are forcing yourself to be here right now. Is that what you're saying?
So no.
Okay, all right. See, like finger guns doesn't tell me anything. You had to actually say it.
Oh, did you not hear?
No.
I said yes and no.
Oh, I only heard.
Okay.
I literally only heard no. Literally only heard no.
What?
So yeah. But explain.
I came to VRChat to be less shy, so I'm working on that part of my life. So in this case, this gave me an opportunity to kind of talk to more people and you, and kind of overcome that shyness more. Because I get nervous when I'm shy, and as you know, I loop when I talk when I'm nervous.
Yes. That is true. So, well, I commend you for having the determination to be on my podcast tonight. I appreciate you you know pulling it together and making that possible. I really do appreciate that. I think there are a lot of people who'd like to and people who don't know you now have an opportunity to get to know you, and people who do know you. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more about you. Maybe I'll learn something tonight. That's really the whole point of my podcast. It really is just to genuinely sit down and get to know people. Albeit it is a kind of public, but at the same time, I think it's good to allow people an opportunity to get to know somebody. So maybe maybe some confusion or things that are a little misconstrued about a person can be cleared up perhaps. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Appreciate that.
Thank you again for having me.
Of course. All right. So, let's get into VRChat. So, when did you how did you first hear about VRChat?
YouTube.
And when was that?
Mainly from 2018, 2019. Yeah, about 2019. When I was cooped up in my house from COVID.
Okay, well, 2019 wasn't quite when COVID really kicked off. It kicked off more so February of 2020. Yeah.
Like near the end of that, yeah.
Okay.
I was switching jobs at the time.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So it sounds like you are like the majority. It seems a lot of people seem to migrate over to VRC in order to get some socializing, to kind of be around people when you couldn't be during that period of time. So that's when you first heard about VRC. What made you want to try it?
The words, the clubs, the people. It seemed interesting. Wanted to experience.
Did you know about all of that beforehand?
The clubs and all that?
Yeah, because like you said, like I'm asking you, like what got you into, or what made you want to try VRC? Not, why you're into it now, but like,
that is also one reason to, other than the shyness, that was one reason to get into it, because I actually don't like going out in public to clubs. So it's like that seemed a lot better.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, at the time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just to be clear, like you learned about VRC, you knew there were clubs, you knew that there were worlds, and that was your motivation to want to try it out, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So once you first got into VRC, do you remember your first experience? First experiences in VRC? Do you recall them?
The black cat.
Okay, yep. I think that's everyone's
That
first, right?
was yep, the black cat. And some weird, just completely bonkers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I met some good people. Met some of my first friends at a black cat and hung out with them.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it was a experience because I was quiet and shy at first. They came up to me.
Gotcha.
It was a experience that I think changed how I perceive the world a little bit on people.
How so?
There are a lot of kind people, but also there are a lot of people who are just there to just goof around, have fun, enjoy life. And I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot.
Hmm. So beforehand, you had it sounds like maybe you had a little pessimistic view on people in general.
Yeah. Very untrusting of people. Very untrusting because I've been stabbed in the back a few times. Human.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm glad that your first experience in VRC was actually a positive one. I feel like a lot of people who first get into VRC, I have this feeling that most of the people that I've talked to on the podcast generally have an okay experience. It's usually never anything that's crazy or like completely just out of left field. It's nothing like they didn't get like cursed at or like like taken advantage of or anything like that. It's typically just an actual like good, positive, or relatively neutral, if nothing else, experience in VRC for the first time. So it's good to hear. It's good to hear that it was positive for you too. It's cool. Yeah. So after all of that, what made you stay?
The people. I would say it's the people, the friends I made, that I talked to along the way. I just wanted to hang out with them, enjoy life. Also, the really cool worlds. There were some really great ones.
Mm-hmm. You said you met some of your first friends in VRC. I mean, in Black Hat, that is. So, do you still know them today?
Yeah, I know a handful of them still today. They still play VR. They just can't join PC worlds because they're stuck in Stone. But I still hang out with them when I can, when they're not busy. Or I'm not busy.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So, I guess, how exactly... Okay, not what how, but... what exactly do you, I guess, most prefer to do in VRC? And how did that evolve from when you first got into VRChat?
Good question. Really, it was like the games, playing games with people first, and what I do now is just I just hang out with friends, watch movies if I can, still play games because those are the best things in my opinion to do. But also I've been going to some amazing looking worlds, beautiful worlds that other creators make.
I see. So you're so would you say that you are something of a world hopper?
Do you like jumping worlds if I'm alone? A lot more.
Gotcha. All right.
I just need to find some people who love doing that too.
Well, I mean, there are groups. I don't know which ones. I don't have like any names of any, but I've certainly heard that there are a couple of Well, okay. Let me be accurate about what I'm saying. I've heard of a single group that does world hopping stuff. But I have seen like an advertisement, like in a certain world, for like, people who enjoy like world hopping, just hanging out events and stuff. So like, there are people out there who very much kind of specialize in that sort of thing and partake in those particular activities. But I always find it interesting how people in VRChat typically gravitate to certain activities. There's some people who are world hoppers. There's some people who are who are mirror dwellers, people who only go to music events, some people who only go to hang out with in random public worlds. I feel like people tend to find their niche. Like people just play games sometimes too, and in VR as well. And it's always really interesting to find out like people's like how people's personalities, align with what they enjoy doing. I think it makes sense for someone who is kind of working on being shy and working on their social skills to enjoy world hopping and just kind of seeing different spaces, and just kind of being okay being alone, kind of thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Like me, I'm a kind of like a jack of all trades. I can't like everything. But I think once you find that niche that you like the most in the world, it's great. It's always great. And even if that's your niche, it's never bad for the people to try to get out of the comfort zone of that niche. Try something else, because you never know, you might love the new thing that you try.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I think one of the best things about VRC is just the variety of things that are here to do, that are available to do. I feel like a lot. Not I feel like, but I believe that there's a whole like circle of people or a whole group of people who only think VRChat is just for going to the Black Cat or the drinking club, or just some other public world to just like hang out with their friends. And there are so many people I think that are missing out on just how deep VRChat actually goes in terms of the various communities and activities that you can do and partake in, that are well beyond simply being a mirror dweller in a drinking world,
Yeah, very true. I think the VRChat has such a giant rabbit hole that you can find almost anything in it. And there's a lot more good than there is any bad. Just look for the good. Look for the good, and you will find it.
I definitely agree with that. There's definitely a lot of good. There's also a fair bit of bad, for sure. But before we jump into that, I do want to ask you, how did you come up with your name?
Oh, VoidlessGhost? Actually, I've had this name for years. Actually started with Zombie Killer. So all my OG friends know me by that name.
What was that?
Not in VRChat, but Zombie Killer. Misspelled zombie.
Oh,
with the E and the I. Zombie.
Zombie Killer. Okay. All right. Go on.
But I switched my name to Voidless Ghost because which kind of coincides with my brand name, Voidless City. Because before VRChat, I always had the whole plan of a company ideal named Voidless City. So kind of put Voidless Ghost. One, no one had the name. I looked up, almost place I've been to doesn't have that name. And also I think it's a really cool, catchy name people will remember.
Well, I mean, the moniker of Ghost, I think, is pretty popular on VRC. I have been friendly with like 2 or 3 people with ghost in their name. Yeah, that much is is relatively common, but even then, like why void, like I know you said it's in line with like your branding, but we'll get into that later on about like where those ideas came from, but like why Voidless and why Ghost?
The whole thing, as a ghost is, if you think about a ghost, you're thinking spectral, empty. And when you think voidless, you're looking at full, And people don't correspond, like, what if this ghost is just full of life, even though it's a dead, ghost wandering. So that was my concept of the whole idea of voidless ghosts. I'm a ghost full of happiness and life in a void, and kind of like bring people towards me. Even though I'm pretty shy about it, I do like people.
Okay. Gotcha. So the name is meant to reflect your perspective on your desire to have people be drawn to you, or to be, I guess, comfortable being around you? Question mark?
In a sense, you could say that. That and just like me being full of just happiness, sharing life with people, friends, just random people, sharing kindness. Could say.
I see. Gotcha. Well, that's a very, very positive message, I would say, for sure. But where did you come up with that? Because like I feel like despite like the intentions, like I wonder how people will generally like interpret that. Like, so I guess like how like do you think that people interpret your name that way? Like, do you think that's pretty understood? But because I'm just kind of wondering like what sparked that idea? Was it already like the psychological aspect of wanting people to be near you and wanting people to be comfortable, like talking to you and being around you? Was that already the intention, or was it like, I like this name, I'm going to use it now? I'm worried about the origin.
My poetry.
Okay, cool.
I wrote a lot of poetry before I did VRChat.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yes, would have to look up the poem, but because I have them saved on paper, books and stuff. But it was basically from one of my poems, trying to describe myself.
So you describe.
And the question of.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
The question of how other people perceive it. They questioned like, how is a ghost voidless?
Right.
Get that a lot.
Right. Yeah. And then you tell them what you told me.
Yeah. In a sense. I don't go as deep in like telling people, but I said, just fill the ghost up. Full love.
Yeah, you're gonna want to be specific about that one. You're gonna want to be specific about that. I'm just saying. Like, you say shit like that, people are gonna immediately go, "Hey yo," they're gonna be like,
"Hey yo."
Yo, I didn't know you're that kind of ghost. My bad.
I meant like, I'm filling the void of words. Let's say that for now.
Okay.
I basically just go with that for people to learn it, kind of make it simplistic for them.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying. We don't want people to get confused. Get the wrong idea about what you're filled up of. But all right, cool. That's good to know. So it came from your poetry, and you just kind of ran with it. but now like now I want to go further. Like, what was the content of like the poem? Like, you were describing yourself, so like obviously I don't want to know the entire poem, but like I guess if you were describing yourself as such, was it the same meaning that you have now, or was the meaning different?
The meaning actually did mean kind of very similar in a sense. Like, I was in a dark place back then. So when I was writing it, I was trying to make it as positive as possible. Show
Gotcha.
kindness to others. People show kindness back. But you also have to be careful of showing that kindness to the wrong people. But I always now give everyone the benefit of the doubt that everyone's kind. Even though humans can be very evil at times.
I agree.
That doesn't mean everyone is evil.
Well, I like your positive stance on it for sure. I do. It's I think that's a great way to think of people, and I think there's a lot of value that goes into that, and I do think that people do and can be good. I think they can be, but I also don't ever want to say that, like, people aren't evil. Like, I would go as far as to say that everyone is evil. Everyone has the capability of being evil. So
Everyone is born to think one way usually. And it's usually the same mindset of, okay, a follower, like a sheep. Follow this person's lead. Whatever they say is always right.
right.
They could be unintentionally being evil.
Right. By listening to others rather than thinking for themselves. Yeah. There are many people who are just desperate. They're desperate to find meaning. They're desperate to find understanding of themselves, and they are unable to achieve that. And instead of figuring out how to think for themselves, they end up becoming someone else's follower, and that can lead them down a path in which they think that they're doing good, but chances are it may not be as good as they think. But once they start thinking for themselves, that is when there's room to be good. I think people have to try to be good. People are inherently evil, but people try to be good. I think it feels like, again, I say people are inherently evil because I think it feels better to swear at somebody than to be like, oh, I hope you have a nice day. I mean, obviously, wishing someone a nice day is nice and all, but like, I think it's easier to tell someone, like, get out of here, than it is to, like, say, to be nice. You have to put forth. It has to be like an earnest effort to be kind. That's why I think everyone is evil.
It is hard.
Yeah. But I also
Even
think everyone
I
can be good.
can be very evil.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, everyone has the potential for it. So like, I'm. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was saying that's why humans have the power of choice. Should I do this or should I do this?
Yes.
And what path that leads you down?
Right.
It's always your choice.
In most cases, it's always our choice. But sometimes we don't always have the freedom of choice of what decisions we make. I think it's, I could give an example, but that's kind of taking us off the path. But yeah, like the idea of like being good, and like you said, you were in a dark place prior, and you've learned how to perceive people as people who can be good rather than people who are just evil. I think it's good to have the duality and not just the singularity. So good on you for that. I'm glad that you were able to kind of resolve that for yourself. But speaking of like good things and bad things, what is one really good thing that's not people, that's not the worlds, one thing that you like, that you think is a good thing about VRChat, and one thing that you wish could change about VRChat.
The possibilities of VRChat. It's almost endless. What I would like that I don't like about VRChat? I think there is a limit to what you can still do in VRChat. And once you hit that limit, you kinda have to work with what you have until, of course, advances in technology increases it. That's what I kind of like. The limit. Even though the possibilities are almost endless. That leads only to technology too.
Yeah, that is quite true. So can you elaborate on I guess on your perspective on what it means? Obviously, we can just kind of leave it at that. Yeah, VRChat is limitless. It's a platform of endless possibilities. We can just leave it at that. But I guess what is that? How do you interpret that? What does that mean to you?
I think VRChat as it is basically what the metaverse wants to be, and that
Agreed.
VRChat could become what the metaverse wants to be.
Right.
But it takes people. Think of Ready Player One, and take it that one day jobs in the real world will become almost obsolete for most people. How are people going to make money? The VR, the internet type of stuff. Even though there might be games, you're given one life. You go here, you die, you lose everything. You have to restart. Use your special credentials of that government or government to be able to even make money. And I think that is true, that we're getting closer to that reality. But there will still be specialized jobs for people in the real world to make sure those stay snuff.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we are definitely we are living in the time of, this is like the infancy of that period of time. We are the we're the ones who are we're like the testers of what the metaverse could be, of what VR, the potential of VR and AR could be. That is what we are doing, and we're validating it. But every time we use VRChat, every time we engage on this platform, we are ultimately validating the idea that people want this, and people ultimately want to end up utilizing this platform for more than just social interaction. And that's proven by the creativity that has been that is replete on this platform. There's so much creativity that has been shown in the designs of worlds and the variety of worlds. They're not just rooms, but they are rooms of fun. They're rooms of music. They're rooms of light. They're rooms of wonder. They are truly just founts of creativity here, and that's we're validating it all, and we are definitely in the infancy of everything, leading towards that ultimate period where people have to probably find a way to earn their living in the VR space. And a lot of people are already doing that. There are so many people who are already doing that, which is super cool. I mean, I'm technically already doing that myself. So, yeah, definitely, very true. So, with regards to the thing that you don't really like, or that you wish could change, that was
the technology. That we do have a limit. There is a limit. You could say the technology we have, headsets, words, we can make the words beautiful, really beautiful, but there's a limit on how big we can make. One day, I'm hoping we'll be able to hit all of that. Be able to make complete, massive cities that, or like a whole, let's say a whole Earth. Make a whole Earth, put it into VRChat. You can live on that one world, and even it could take a whole year for you to explore it. That is what I want to eventually see. But we're not there yet, and that's the one thing I don't like.
Okay. That's honestly, that feels like a very it's a very political answer, and I don't mean that your answer is politically inclined. I mean it's a very kind of like you're not actually like criticizing anything. You're just pointing out the reality that we're currently living in. So
I don't like the reality.
Hey, I don't like where we are right now. I want to be in the future already. That's basically what you're saying. Like that's not like
Yes.
I mean it is a criticism, but you know again it's very kind of like it's a very chill criticism. It's like it's filled with optimism. There's a lot of optimism in that answer. So I feel that. But yeah. I mean, what can I say about that? I mean, honestly, I would like to see things. I would like to see VR go as far as it can go, and I know that I won't see it in my lifetime, but I mean, I hope to see a whole hell of a lot. And I'm sure that I will. I'm sure that I'll be like 60 years old and I'll still be using VR, and I'll probably still be using it even when I'm like 70, 80, especially when I'm that old. Hopefully I get that old and I can still engage with people and still feel like I'm doing something while also like not like I'm not being sedentary, but I also feel like I'm like doing something or accomplishing something, or I still get to travel and see things. And I think in the next 5 to 10 years, the technology of like big screen, that big screen, what they built will be a lot better. They are ultimately, what they're building is ultimately a pioneering piece of software. But it's going to take some time for technology to catch up, for them to make it as good as it could be. But I think in about 5 years, big screen will actually be a good piece of hardware, and it would have gone through multiple iterations to get there. And I think we won't be wearing huge-ass toasters on our heads anymore. We will just be able to slip on goggles and call it a day. And like the goggles, not only with the goggles, like the goggles will have like, they'll have microphones built in, and the goggles will have like, they'll have like ear, like speakers built in, or ear.
Like the nerve gear from
SOA. Well, I'm SAO. Yeah. I mean, I would say like nerve gear is more like what we're living in right now, with like the big toasters on our faces. Like that's kind of where we're at right now. Ultimately, like I would want it to be. I'd want the technology to get good enough that immersion is easy. Immersion is easy, and we don't have to rely on our brains to reproduce it. It's just something that happens because we understand that we're fully there, and our brains understand that we're fully there, and we don't have to kind of train ourselves to, for example, learn phantom sense, that sort of thing.
Kind of like the test with the rats that they did.
As in, refresh my memory.
They put a helmet on a rat, and the rats were on a ball to move around, but the whole thing was they were able to use the brains knowing that they're actually in the world type of thing. It's without needing computer chips or anything in your brain, things like that. That technology is still being developed, and it's still in its infancy. But I would like to see that eventually reach into a VR set, so we don't need controllers or full body.
Yeah, it'll just be a full-on, like full immersive experience that tracks us. Like there will be like a thing that we can purchase that scans our entire body, and it allows us to kind of just feel that immersive experience. Like I will say I will say, like, despite us kind of living in the infancy period of VR right now, I will say that there's something really magical, and maybe I'm overreacting, over-exaggerating. I've only been in VRChat for, I'm running up on 2 years now. In April, I'll be in VRChat for 2 years. Like, I think there's something kind of nostalgic, or at least kind of magical, about like the VRChat kind of like the little jingle that you do, like that when you log in, like the animation for like when you log in, and like the little kind of like soft music, like that stays with you. like that stays with you, kind of thing. I think it's kind of nostalgic. Maybe it's because I've been doing this. I've been VRC for about a year and a half now, and I think what they're doing right now is building something that is going to evolve into something akin to what we saw in Sword Art Online. You know, kind of like the root. Like the seed, the root seed of everything. And I honestly think, like, I would love it. It would be super cool. It would be super cool if VRChat became the seed. Like, the origin of everything else that branches off of it. And like VRChat sets the standard for all of those ideas and worlds, and like those expansive worlds that you were talking about, like having a whole Earth in it. But like VRChat will be like the nexus of everything, and everything will start here and then branch off elsewhere. So that's kind of what that's kind of like an idealistic perspective, but chances are someone else is going to try to do it. But I think VRChat is too far ahead. I think VRChat is already too far ahead of every other company that may attempt to do even anything like this. But then again, on the other hand, there have been other like platforms. Like there's competition in AI, like in having AI like chatbots. There's technology for that. We could argue that ChatGPT is pretty far ahead with ChatGPT 4, but it's also being competitive, keeping competition with Google and what they're doing. So it's possible that someone may try to compete with VRChat, like Rec Room. Rec Room is a competitor, technically speaking, but
Never been to Rec Room.
I've never used Rec Room either. I honestly don't plan to. It reminds me of what Meta attempted to do. Like, I look at Rec Room and I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of rudimentary. There's also another platform. There's also another platform that's out there called it's called Reborn. Reborn VR. That's another company that's trying to kind of enter the space, similarly to like how VRChat is the leader. Like the VRChat has all of like the market share. I would say like VRChat has like 97%, Rec Room has like 3%, and well, not 3%, maybe like 2 point something or other, and like Reborn VR has like 0.7 or something like that. It's pretty low. But like, again, like, there are various platforms out there, a lot of competition. Well, not a lot of competition, but competition that is out there. But I think that VRChat is going to come out on top and stay on top, very similar to how Google is a thing. Like, what do you think? What do you think about like VRChat and its place in the grand scheme of like the kind of virtual reality that you would like to see? How do you think VRChat fits into that?
Oh, I think VRChat will actually probably just advance more and more into like something better. If something better comes. But I think it's going to be a staple that's going to stay for years, and it's just going to grow as more people get into VR. Yes, kids and stuff like that, but those kids grow. Those kids will help build VR. Even though a lot of people don't like them in there, you have to start somewhere. Eventually, they will mature, and they will understand, like, this is something that is going to become bigger. Because we are old. I'm going to say we're older, and we're just going to get older. We can, if we only think of, VR as the only thing, and not think of other places that could possibly become better, we're not going to expand VR to become a staple. That makes sense what I just said.
It does. You need to have fresh blood in the community, so that progress can be made. Like, innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens with testing things out and exposing it to a wide variety of people. And it's so funny because we had a conversation on my last VRChat stream. We had a conversation about because we watched a video about VRChat and their foray into mobile, putting VRChat on Android. And most of us thought it was pretty silly of what they were doing, but the thing about that is, one of our people that were there, Sky, she brought up the fact that it's possible that VRChat may just be trying to use the mobile platform as a means to get VRChat or make more people aware that VRChat exists. It could ultimately just be like a little kind of, I wouldn't say a ploy, but a marketing angle that they are using to expose more people to VRChat about its existence. Not so much for people to actually use it or try it, but just to let people know that, hey, this is a thing that they exist, so they can continue to gain more market share, bring in more users, and continue to grow. Though it may seem silly that they would dedicate resources to something that's just a marketing angle. It seems kind of silly that they would do something like that. So I'm sure there's more to it. Maybe it'll come to fruition sometime in the future. But for now, it just seems kind of a silly thing that they're doing. Hopefully, not hopefully, but it seems it's like a silly thing they're trying to do to, bring in more people, like bring in new blood, as we were just saying. So that's why I mentioned that. Like, do you have any thoughts about VRChat mobile?
Actually, that is exactly what I would do as a business. Even though it's silly, it is one way to get it out there, because it's not as hard to get it onto mobile, because you could put it on there. Even if it doesn't work, it's complete crap. Getting people to see it and then them interested, what is this VRChat thing? Or even if they try it on mobile, it's like, see all these people move their hands and stuff. They're like, I want to do that. I want to figure out how I can do that. Looks it up. There you go. You got a new one.
Yeah. But it is kind of a risk. Assuming that they don't give a shit about it, it is kind of a risk. Assuming that they do give a shit about it, and let's assume that they do give a shit about it, they're going to hopefully make the experience as good as you possibly can do on mobile. But yes. I think, like you said, people will instantly be like, oh, look at these people like moving around and turning their heads and like and all that. Like how can I figure that out? So hopefully it will be a positive like kind of switch for people to look into it and find out more about it themselves. But the fact that VRChat is free across the board is just that's kind of a win.
Yes.
But yeah, to easily get people onto the platform, and then hopefully it'll kind of grow from there. And maybe we'll start to see like an influx. Maybe we'll start to actually, like, even though like I don't really go to public worlds anymore personally, maybe we'll start to even like feel like the presence, like just like it'll feel like VRChat is a little bit bigger. But I think what I think will actually occur, the way that will be most felt in the growth of VRChat is through the streamers who stream VRChat. I think, if anything, their audiences, the growth of their audiences and the size of their audiences will reflect ultimately the growth of VRChat as a whole. I think that I think me as a streamer and so many other content creators that are out there that are far, far more successful than me, they will be the ones kind of like proving or showing that VRChat is in fact growing. You know.
Yes.
Or at least there are just more people who know about VRChat at the very least, even if they're not on the platform themselves.
Oh yeah, and the term high risk, high
reward. Oh yeah.
Also, because anything business related is always a high risk, especially something like that.
Not always.
But
not always. Sometimes you can play it safe.
Not always.
But obviously, when you're in a startup situation like VRChat, VRChat is largely a startup that's funded by investors. So and like obviously the community, and partially also by the creative community, like those who may be engaging with the creator economy that was recently announced, I believe in December that they came out with that, like right around like mid-December-ish. So like so they have a means for which they can gain income, but largely they're funded by investors. Most of their income comes from there. But yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you can play it very safe when it comes to business, but it's important to kind of move fast, try new things, and see what works and see what doesn't. That's kind of what I did as a streamer. I played very fast and loose, tried everything, and I'm still trying things here and there, but now that I have like a foundation of what works, and I think, again, that's what every company does. Like when you're new, you have a goal, you have an intention, you try new things, you see what works, see what lands, you see what's working out for you, and then you take what you have and then you build upon that. So, yeah. It's good that you have some thoughts about business as well, which we can definitely discuss now that we can kind of move into talking about your venue, Voidless City, as well as your just the world that you built yourself. So let's kind of start there, and let's talk about how the hell did you get into world building?
3D printing.
Okay.
3D printing, actually. Before I actually 3D printing and video games. Just wanted to make a game. But I don't know exactly how to code, but I could like put like buildings together.
And so, so like I guess explain how 3D. Okay, so you mentioned 3D printing and then you mentioned game design. So
Yes.
So can you expound on that and how that kind of led you to I guess messing around in Blender and or Unity to make what you made?
Yes. Board games. I enjoy like board games, but I also have ideas for making a video game. Always have, since I was like 22 with Game Maker, RPG Maker. Unity being a free resource and all the free resource things coming out, I try to learn. I'm still trying to learn Blender, by the way. I'm not good at it.
Okay.
But the thought when I entered VR and saw the worlds, all these beautiful worlds, I was like, how do other people do this without needing to know coding? And then I learned about the SDK and some other friends who were builders helping me, talking me through like how easy it is, which is inspired me a lot. Actually, it inspired me like, if I can do this, eventually I can make a game, even if it's like a 15-minute game. So I'm using kinda VRChat in a way to learn how to make a game.
I see. Okay. Gotcha. So 3D printing, I'm assuming, like from what you've said, is essentially just an interest of yours. which kind of supplemented your reasoning for getting into world design when you wanted to ultimately get into creating games. So it just kind of lined up. It's just like, oh, well, 3D printing I'm interested in, but let me just kind of do this in Unity and see what I can do. Is that about right?
That's exactly what. Yep, that is exactly right.
Cool. Okay, cool. I'm glad I understand. Like that's my goal. I wanna make sure that I definitely understand what you're saying. So yeah. I guess so. Like, tell us about what that process was like.
Oh, the process was difficult at first. I'm going to be honest. It was difficult because at first I was going to like try to learn, make my own worlds, and then the club thing started, which I tried to hire someone to do it, and they were charging me way more than what they told me they were going to charge me, like triple the amount. So I decided to finally put myself down and learn to do it myself fully, instead of just like procrastinating on learning it. So crash course into learning Unity. It was still a very pain, and the first word I made was a little venue, a little studio. I was very proud of it. Still messing with lighting, but can't work on that word no more since I got my Discord hacked and I deleted everything on my computer to make sure I was safe.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what? Okay. You said Discord. Something happened in Discord, and then you deleted everything on your computer to make sure you were safe. Like what? Okay, that was
safe in so I got hacked on Discord when I made the first word, when I crash course into Unity, learning it, how hard it was, and I was so proud. Be careful clicking links from friends. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
I had to purge my computer because I wanted to make sure that the virus was not in the computer. Always back up your Unity work is something I've learned through that process. Make sure you have a backup somewhere. This is all part of the whole entire concept of being explaining, but yeah, crash course into it because someone tried to do it, and I used my 3D printing ideals, like models at first. And then I decided to, okay, I'm going to find models online or try to make models. Difficult, really difficult.
So your first world, for whatever reason, I don't know why I thought that your venue was your first world. I don't even know why I thought that, but yeah, obviously that wasn't your first. So, after how many worlds did you end up making before you actually ended up making the venue?
Two worlds. The first one that I can't work on. The second one, which I'm reworking on, which is my arcade style one. And then the one that you know now.
Okay. Are you still making improvements to your current world, Voidless City?
Yes, I am. I have that kind of like on the back burner while I work on the fourth world that I'm working on with a collab.
Gotcha. All right. So how long did it take you to make your world? How long did it take you to make Voidless City?
Voidless City station or the arcade one? Voidless City station. Voidless station is what I called it.
Well, I don't know your code names, so I mean the one that has that's for DJs, you know?
Oh, okay. All my words are for DJs, but
Oh, okay.
I would say since the beginning, the first one took me forever. This one took me 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And I'm still improving it because it's always going to be a work in progress. Always want to make it better.
I see. Cool. Very cool. So, I first of all, I want to say that I really like that. I can definitely get behind the idea of doing something yourself. It's I'm never really a fan of asking for help, because it's like if someone else can do it, I'm under the impression that in some cases I can do it myself. So, but sometimes I do. Sometimes it's just like, in the interest of time, I'd rather, pay someone to make something happen. But when it comes to like the creative process, I think it's definitely ideal to be able to learn how to do the creative things on your own, so that you don't have to trust someone else to do it yourself. Obviously, if push comes to shove, sure, but I learned how to make my own shorts, which they're not great at all, because they don't do very well, but it's all right. It is, but at least I know how to edit. At least I know how to edit. I know how to adjust audio edit. I know how to change images in Photoshop. I know how to design in Photoshop. Like you teach yourself these skills, so that you can rely on yourself more, and then pay out less. But obviously, we have a finite amount of time, so obviously, sometimes you gotta let other people handle it. But that's really cool that you decide to take control of your vision and make that yours. Like do it yourself. Make sure that it would be the way that you want it to be, as good as you want it to be. So yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. In which you only improve as time passes.
Exactly.
What you work on.
Quite true. So, let me see. So, I guess what is can you explain to people like what Voidless City is, for those people who may not know? And I guess can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it, like what the design ideas, philosophies, anything that makes it uniquely your world would be really, really cool. So people can know about it. Obviously, they can go, and the world is literally available it's live now. It's public, but
it is public.
But yeah, there's and I don't think there's anyone doing any sort of events in there right now. But
no.
Yeah. So
where it's public,
I was just gonna say just kind of share with people about your what makes it uniquely yours, and what is it like? What's it like? What inspired you from it, and or what inspiration did you get in order to make it? And yeah.
I would say for the current one, it is more of the thought of, I want to make a cool sci-fi-ish area, like laser cannons that shoot lasers. Have it where people can go in, relax, have some games to play while they're dancing. Really, it comes down to it, though. It's for the DJs and the party goers. The whole process of it was for me to make a world people can come into, dance, enjoy great music from not only experience already established DJs in the VR world, but also brand new, starting up DJs. Because when I go to other worlds, I don't see a lot of new faces. It's usually the same DJs over and over. and I know it's hard for newer DJs because they're always intimidated by the more established DJ area. So I have that whole sense of it doesn't matter how skilled you are. Come down, we will have you play. Rotate each DJ that we have play each week the best we can, as long as it's free, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted to put down the whole entire deal of making these worlds for everyone, not just for a select few. And the whole thing of For the City Inc. Well, it used to be called For the Sea Inc. My business, but now we just switched. For the City is now just we fill the void of empty cities or places, clubs, things. So, hey, this place isn't being used. It's cool. Let's use it. At first, we did that until we started making the worlds, and the whole thing is more for the city, or For the City. So we can keep filling new worlds, having people experience new venues that always change. The idea was each venue is almost like its own what are they events, like the I forgot the word. You know, when you go to a big old event show,
Yeah.
concert.
Okay.
Brain fart went to concert. So the whole idea was I want to make a concert world eventually. That's big, but I'm trying to make it where it's spacious, big, and it feels kind of like people at a decent concert more than a club.
So when you say concert, do you mean like with like multiple seats like next to one another type of thing, like that sort of thing? Like with like just like there
The
are like
ones
there are
that you see
aisles and there's seats and there's like a stage up front and such, and there's like a balcony with seats up top, like that sort of thing.
in a sense, but it's the ones that you see where people are standing and jumping and dancing in a big old pile. Those you see at like rock concerts or DJ events. See all those people. No one's sitting down. Everyone's up dancing. And that's kind of what I want to see eventually, like the world filled with people jumping up, dancing to the DJs playing. And eventually, I wish to give back to the DJs, one way or another, financially, or just showing that, like, follow these guys if they are on Twitch, because the DJs put so much effort into the music that they either produce or they curate for the people they're playing for. Because when I started DJing, it's like music choice and all that is one part, practice is another, and they're all amazing. And the DJs need a lot more recognition. I can't say the word. Recognition. Yes, even though they are, but people know them more for the clubs and not for themselves. If I could pay them the minimum of a IRL DJ makes, would. I'm not rich yet.
Right. That's fair. I think we're like everyone who creates in VRC is truly understands that there is kind of a limitation when it comes to compensation when doing creative work in VRC. I mean, that's largely why I've made sure that, like, I guess my what I do is very much kind of funneled through other sites. So like I understand that, but I would like to think that eventually at some point, well, even now, maybe there just hasn't been like a good system put into place. I think the creator economy idea that VRC has put into place could be something. It could be some manner of something for DJs to receive some sort of compensation for their efforts. But I actually need to. I really need to look into it more and do a little bit more research on the nuances of how that whole system works, so I can perhaps think of how it can be more used. Maybe another idea of how it can be. How we can make use of it to let people know that you appreciate what they've done. Aside from just saying thank you, that's awesome. What you did was awesome, and I hope you come back again real soon. Yeah, I think there's definitely a benefit. There's definitely a lot of work that goes into being a DJ, a lot of work that goes into being a venue owner. There's, it's like overall, like, it's like we kind of do it, we do what we do for the love of it. Like, I didn't start the podcast to get paid for it. I started the podcast because I love talking to people, and like you said, filling the void of like DJ worlds, of like allowing like smaller DJs a chance to flex and do their thing in your venue. Like my goal is trying to just fill a void of like conversation, of like proving to people in the VRChat sphere that there are people who are willing to have a conversation with you. There are people who are willing to go beyond the surface, and actually kind of dig into like really getting to know someone. And my podcast is meant to kind of exemplify that, while also hopefully giving back to my guests and obviously promotional material. I promote them ultimately. And I basically, the podcast is about them, not about me. So, I would hope that, like, if nothing else, more people will learn more about VRC and hopefully learn more about the guests that I have. So, that's why I do it, And I think DJs, obviously, they do it for the love of the music. They love music. They love sharing their vibe, their tastes. And just kind of they like the thrill of seeing people also engaging in that excitement of music and the energy, the vibe that is created through either like DJs and also VJs. Let's not forget about VJs for sure. Like
VJs are amazing.
They are. They absolutely fucking are. I've met a couple and they're all amazing people. Absolutely. So like there's a lot of creative energy in VRC, and obviously I hope my podcasts help kind of reflect that and let people know that is a thing that exists here. But yeah, it would be nice for people who do that sort of creative work to be able to work from something, or at the very least maybe not get paid in VRC, but at the very least maybe gain confidence to start their own business, out in the real world. I think that would be the best thing to do, like maybe right now. But it's not for everybody. But I like that. I like the intention behind your world. I think it's really, really great to be able to, allow people to perform and feel like they're welcomed, even though your venue is relatively new. How old is your venue, by the way?
Started this year. Officially, we started this year. No, not this year. Last year. I'm thinking 2023. I would say May 2023. About 9 months ago, we started.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, it could be exaggerated. It could be like give a few, take a few.
Gotcha.
But roughly, near the halfway point of last year.
And
me and my co-owner just said, let's just do it. Let's stop waiting around. Let's just make it happen, because we only talked.
Okay. And tell us how you made it happen. How did you make it happen? How did you go from designing the venue to actually getting people to show up at your venue?
I will say it's the people me and my co-owner know. We are able to gather some DJs, and then we gathered more DJs. We just kind of went out. It's really venues also only become popular because of the DJs at times. Because if you have a great DJ people love, they will pile in and fill it. And even new DJs can be seen that way as well, as people are coming in slowly waiting for the next DJ to play. So people can learn, okay, this guy's pretty good, I want to follow him. But it's a process of just... I forgot what the question was. I had a brain fart just...
Basically my question was, like, how did you get the whole venue going? Like, I guess, how did you go from, like, no one showing up to people showing up?
I would have to actually put a lot more thanks to my co-owner for that. It's because my co-owner, we were able to talk to other people. And I will say Redacted as well, because Redacted was the first DJ who played for us. We didn't actually have a venue at the time. We used a friend's world.
That's awesome.
Which was great. I would say all the cool DJs we met along the way helped us. Their friends helped us. Without the people I know, the talented people I know, and the friends I've made through these past 2 years, none of this would be possible. None of it.
Yeah.
The world, the people, the DJs, without their support, we were just like probably fell flat. Completely flat.
Yeah, possibly.
I really couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah, it's there's one thing that I keep in mind, and based on what you're saying, you're talking about how, like, you're really grateful for the people that you know and the people who are willing to give you a chance. Obviously, your co-owner is another person who you relied on and who had your back. Really helped you to bring the venue to life and bring people in to build a sense of trust, and ultimately, hopefully, to build a sense of community to some degree eventually. But there is one thing that I've certainly found, and I've known this for a long, long time. Obviously, before I even started streaming, I've known this. But it's so important to not reject the help of others, and also how much you actually do need people. As much as we were talking about earlier about doing things ourselves, I think it's very, very important to understand that most difficult things cannot be done alone. Things that are really, really hard to do require a lot of people who are there to support, who are there who trust you, who believe in you. It is incredibly necessary to have people who believe in the project, who believe in the goal, who believe in the vision. And that's really kind of what I've tried to do as well, with my community, with my streams, and you with your venues and with getting DJs together. Just the value of people, not just as what they can do for you, but what the creativity and just the insights that they have, just as people different from you. Like we need each other. We really do need each other, as collectively. That's really why humans have lived for so long, because like we learned this and we know this. So that's wonderful that you've had a number of people who were in your corner and helped you to kind of get this off the ground. So how about you tell us, those of you, or those who may not have ever been to Voidless City before, can you give us kind of a summary of what people can expect when they come to your venue, and perhaps the kinds of DJs that you perhaps tend to specialize in, if there's any specialization yet?
We actually don't have a specialization. So the whole thing is, we want all the DJs that play everything.
I don't blame you.
Because there's so many venues that play the same music over and over, and yes, the DJs love playing those, so they'll play that at my venue. But I tell the DJs, play what you want, unless specific, like a house miss that we had for last end of the year or something like that. Play what you want. Enjoy the time. Experiment. Throw something you never thought of playing before into your set. Go crazy. Try new things. That is what we want. And it could be a hit or it could be a miss or it could be the best that you played. That is what I want. I want the DJs to have a lot more freedom on what they play at my venue.
Okay.
And I think that's a good way for them to branch out from the comfort zone.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, honestly. So obviously I think every venue wants as many DJs as they can get. I think that goes without saying. But there isn't like a certain kind of like there isn't like a specific vibe that you typically go. I mean, obviously the world is sci-fi based. It's a very kind of sci-fi-ish looking world. But you don't have like a specific kind of like music that's played there or commonly played there. It's all different kinds.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like last week was metal. Don't normally play metal in 1D&B.
Okay. So how do you is there any sort of like planning with like how you plan every event? Because like Voidless City is a weekly event, correct?
So it became a weekly event at the end of last year.
Gotcha. So it's a weekly event that happens
Friday nights at 9 p.m. CST.
Okay. And so is there any sort of like how should I say? Do you try to line up DJs to have a certain kind of feel throughout the entire night, or are you just booking whoever you book and let them play whatever they want to play? Is there a certain kind of like do the events have certain themes, or is it just like DJ, whatever they decide to play is what they decide to play?
Sometimes I'll try to do a theme for a week, like, hey, make this wintry or holiday or something like that, but interpret it how you want. Music wise, if they want to know what other DJs are going to play, I can ask the other DJs. But normally I just tell them play what you want. But most of the time the DJs, they'll jump in before the other DJ ends and get the feel of what that DJ's playing, so they know what to continue on next. But you probably should do that more. Actually.
Well, I mean,
it's just been so busy.
Yeah. I mean, like to do that takes a lot of organization. Like you're trying to wrangle 5+ people to do like a thing. So I don't blame you for not really going that route. But as long as I guess I'm just trying to help others get a sense of like what they can expect when they come to your venue. So that's why I asked that question specifically. And if there's no like order to it, it's fine. DJs do their thing, and that's what DJs do. But a
little bit of chaos. A little bit of chaos isn't bad.
Yeah, to an degree, I would say, yeah. All right. So with that out of the way, let's talk about like you DJing.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Before we get into that, if a DJ wanted to reach out to you about playing at your venue, what would be the best way for them to do that?
DM me. DMs are open. Join our Discord. We'll give you the DJ role. That's the easiest thing to know who is a DJ for us, so I don't have to constantly try to remember. So we can just like go down the list. Just tell us like, hey, I want to play. I will give you Usually, new DJs, either the first slot or the second slot, sometimes the third slot. Really, it just depends how energetic you want. I don't need to listen to anything. I just need to know, like, are you enthusiastic? Do you want to try it? Message me. I'll message you if I have to. Just come up. Join our world when we're having events. Talk to me. I'm more than willing to talk to people who are interested. And I do talk to people at my events. I actually walk up to everyone, talk, make sure they're okay. So,
All right, cool.
yeah, just talk.
Nice. Okay, great. Let me see. Yeah, I think we can move on to you DJing now. And how did you get into doing that?
My co-owner and I would say Redacted and Turquoise. Those three
Nice.
actually really got me into it because I was always interested in how people were playing music in worlds. So when I started, I was only playing through my mic, and then I advanced through that, asking questions to Gorgon, and who is my co-owner. And then they led me to Turquoise. Like, hey, come with me, he's a really great guy. And then I talked to Turquoise, became friends with Redacted, saw how they were growing and how they were playing DJ music, and how like I enjoyed it so much. And like other than like the videos I watched, because that also kind of made me interested, but I was so afraid. To even try. But eventually, because of them, I decided I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to try it. Mouse and keyboard started off DJing, just mouse and keyboard, and then I finally got a DJ deck. It's not like an expensive one. It's just a DJJ 200 for now.
Yeah, start off small.
But I really loved how the energy and the enthusiasm that they gave off about it, and I really wanted to try my hands at it. So, like, I will get better at this, and eventually I will play, and I will show them, like, hey, listen to me DJ one day. And I was able to do that for Redacted and Saturday last year, which was great. But,
Yeah, I did hear about that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but I did hear about that. Very, very cool. So, what exactly did Turquoise and Red show you? Like, I've had the pleasure of interviewing them both, and I would say that the two of us are friends too. But yeah, what did they specifically like show you or tell you when you asked them? Like, what did they teach you? What did you walk away with?
They taught me the music choice. They told me just try it. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to be obvious to other DJs, but don't let that ever get you down. Just if you work at it, you'll do good. Like, even Gorgon told me, because I asked Maury from Gorgon on like the knobs, like what knobs did what, and they told me like this one did this one, mid, highs. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And I basically started learning it on my own after that, but it was more of not teaching, but more of encouraging and telling me every DJ's basically the same but different in their own ways. If That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Obviously, every person has their own. They have their own spark. They have their own energy. They have their own vibe. Like if I were a DJ, I would be completely different from you, which would be completely different from Turk, which would be completely different from Red. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's creativity speaking. Creativity doesn't come in one color. It comes in a rainbow. So it's important for people, to remember that, which is good. So essentially, it sounded like they were just kind of encouraging you to give it a go. Did they tell you like any equipment to get or any software to get? Like, did they tell you about that? Like obviously they told you about
Record box.
What was that?
Record box.
Record box
DJ.
Okay.
Is the software I got because of what they were talking about. There was a few. Serato and Record Box were the best ones for a DJ in VR, so I went with the Record Box because of my Pioneer DJ deck.
Gotcha. And I had another question. I totally had another question. So you got the physical deck, you got the software. So I guess how would you describe your sound?
Chaotic.
Okay. Spoken like a true gremlin.
I played funk. I play funk. I like funk. But not all funk is the same. So I have like a playlist of different types of funk. But I am actually more of a guy into more techno music. And kind of like techno trance more. And that's kind of what I ended up wanting to play more. But playing at other venues like the Devil's Den, I played metal and I played metal step and dubstep there.
Oh.
So and I'm dabbing in other things. So my genres are always growing because I always want to try new different types of sound.
So your main genres are funk and metal, and perhaps techno / trance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, I want to learn how to produce my own techno.
Yeah. I guess it's producers are usually DJs, but not all DJs are producers. So yeah. Very, very important to note. But yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds awesome. So with that in mind, like, you just said you've always wanted to do it. Like, how long ago did you ever want to DJ? Like, where did this inspiration come from?
Would say I can't lie that it was a couple years ago that the inspiration hit me. I enjoyed watching like YouTube videos of DJing scene of like the small documentary I saw, and also just like live events on YouTube, and I'm like, those are always amazing. Like Skrillex, being a DJ and a producer is cool. Marshmallow, or the other ones I forget the names of. I'm not good with names.
That's fine. So you were drawn to the energy of those performances, of those live performances from other DJs, performing in these big rooms and doing that kind of stuff. Which, the funny thing is, like, it's funny that you say that, because like like I've had my own kind of itch, my own kind of like lingering desire to want to DJ also. I've dabbled a little bit, but not a whole lot. Like, I'm not gonna say that I'm like even trying or working on it at the moment because I'm really not. But I can definitely understand the desire and the desire to want to create that kind of vibe, that kind of energy, because a lot of people consider me very kind of I mean, I have my own particular energy, my own particular vibe of hey, I'm so and so, I'm a badass. I have a very kind of strong and I'm both smart and intense. It's a smart, intense, sexy, whatever. I'm sure people have different adjectives for me, and probably not all of them are positive either. But that's besides the point. But
amazing woman.
Please, thank you. But yeah, I feel like there's I've definitely have considered such a thing, and I think it's really, really cool. I always respect people who are creative. Creative people I think are the most fascinating people, because there's so much potential there that as long as they continue to work at that skill, at that occupation, whatever it may be, that skill, they're just gonna get better. And that's super, super cool. Super, super cool to see, in action. It's been so cool to see, we mentioned Red and Turk. Their evolutions, their improvements has been, so super cool to see, over time. Well, obviously I've only kind of been close with them for a year or so, but yeah, I wouldn't say close, but acquainted with them for a year or so. But yeah, honestly, it's super, super cool to just see really creative people dig into their craft and continue to improve at it. It's super, super cool to see. And I just hope I hope that when people look at you, when people see you do your thing, that they will be inspired by that too. Because I know, like you said, I know that everyone's different, everyone's creativity is different, and what you do is not what I would do, for example, which is okay. And I think that's great. It creates more diversity of music, and we need more DJs who are doing more cool shit. So that's awesome that you've kind of gotten into that, and that you're sticking with it. How did you feel about your how many sets have you done so far? Have you only done the one? Maybe two? Live sets, I mean.
I think live sets, in VR.
Well, in front of people.
Back to VR life.
In front of people.
Real life. Not real life.
No. Does it look like we're in real life right now? Does this look like real life to you right now? No, I'm talking about in VRC. I mean, for some it may be real life, but I'm talking about how many sets have you done in VRC? Obviously.
Over 20? Over 20. Usually they were for private parties or groups and a decent handful, I would say, would be at the Devil's Den when I can. But usually it's spread out to some people's birthdays. I did it. Some smaller groups of people. Even at my own events, because life happens and DJs have real life problems happen. So,
right.
I will cover that if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, about probably 20 plus, I will say, so far, because I've been focusing so much on my club. I haven't been going out to DJ as often.
That is fair.
But I am now.
Great. So, so how did you go about building confidence for people who may be, getting into DJing themselves? How did you go about kind of developing a sense of confidence in what you were doing, and how did you kind of obviously you like music and you have your tastes already before you even started DJing, but I guess how did you kind of narrow down what you're going to do? And how did you kind of develop confidence to go out and do it in front of people?
The main thing is I was not confident when I first started DJing. I was
obviously
very Yeah, very nervous. Like, regardless, when you first start DJing, even DJs who've been DJing a lot longer than me, they even say, yeah, I'm still nervous before I start playing the music. But once you start playing the music, everything around you completely, like, is just engrossing music. And you just see the crowd moving, that confidence that people love what you are playing and mixing. Is something that you can only feel by doing it, even if you're shy, if you're not confident that you do great. Because once you're done and people come up and tell you how amazing of a set you played, that builds so much confidence inside you that you keep going, just keep pushing, just keep doing it.
Just keep
Because
swimming.
you notice people like, just keep swimming.
Just saying, yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, you're going to be not confident on your first set. It's 100% going to happen. Or you could have confidence before. Just doing it and seeing what happens and is the main thing. You just have to just push for it. Just go for it. Because the worst that can happen, people don't like it. The best thing, most of the time, you're going to have people love it. Or the middle ground, which is few people like that, it was okay. And then you have those few people who love it and want to follow you. And watch you grow.
Yeah, that could be really, really exciting. I mean, it sounds like to me, if I had to describe what you're describing to me, or what you're explaining to me, if I had to describe that, it's very much like a streamer. Ironically, you know, you go live, you do your thing. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people stay, some people come back. And that process goes on. You just keep doing it, and you hope that people really enjoy what you do and continue to support you and continue to bring in more people. And like it sounds just like DJing, really. Just the whole idea of like putting your best foot forward, and just kind of seeing what happens, and just continuing to put yourself out there and see if people really like what you're doing. So I can definitely relate to that.
And you get people have to know too. DJs are streamers. We are streamers. We stream on Twitch. Not all of us use Twitch, but a lot of us do.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
it's a 50-50.
Right.
And some of us don't just play music either. I do gameplay.
Wait.
I follow do gameplay.
Wait, you stream?
Oh yeah, when I can. When I'm not busy, I stream. I need to stream.
Huh. Did not know that. That's news to me.
Oh, yes. I play a little bit of multiplayer games with people like Abe.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, I had no idea that you even had a channel, or that your channel was even like. Obviously, you had a channel because you have an account on Twitch, but I didn't know that you were doing anything with it.
Oh, yeah. Slowly. I actually got affiliate last year, which is great.
Awesome. Congrats. That's awesome. Hell yeah. All right. So, can you go into detail about how you go about preparing for a live set? I always ask my DJ guests this question. I think it's a very important question because I think everyone has their own process. So I like to ask this question of DJs because I think it's for people who don't understand or have never done it before or who may be looking to get into it themselves. You know, even like me, you know, I'm just a curious cat. But even still, again, I mentioned that like I would try DJing at some point. I may at some point. Who knows? But what's your process? How do you prepare from like start to finish? Like from like knowing that you're going to be doing a set, how do you prepare for that set that you know you'll be doing, and up until when you're going up on stage and doing it?
Well, there are two processes I have.
Only two?
One is there's two for me. One is chaotic, just throw what I have into a set and hope for the best. If it's spontaneous, if it's like right this second and I don't have something prepared. But if it's a plan, like let's say I'm DJing next week, I will pick and choose the music I want to play and I will practice it. I will practice my music on how I want to mix it. Like going to transition this song to this song without people realizing it if I do a mistake or not. Because I practice my sets advance. So usually a couple days before or the day before. Not even streaming it, I just like practice. Practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I know some DJs don't, but for it, I've learned to use the pad. So when I'm practicing, I will use like the pads and like change how the music sounds at certain points, like echo effects and such, to make it pop out a little bit more for people. If it sounds good to me, it should sound good to the people. But I like prepping my music. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Sets always.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I will try to make other genres work in a set. So I could have 2 or 3 genres in a set, as long as I have enough time to prep it.
Gotcha. And can you go into more detail about what it's what exactly like prepping means, or like when you say practice, what does practicing look like? How about that? I know what prepping means, but what does practicing look like in your book?
I will have my headsets on and I will play the music. I'll start off and then I will I'll find a spot that sounds like a good transition and then just either play the whole song or play the transition that I feel that will work with the next song I have set. And I will make sure, in case the energy is not how it should be, like I don't see people's energy going, I have a couple extra backup songs that I also have for each like different cue or point that I can just like place in that might have a much faster tempo and just increase the tempos. But mostly it's find a good spot to transition to the next song, or like and just play it out. Sometimes just playing the whole song just so you can listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
know where this song work with this coming up next song.
Mm. And go ahead, finish it.
It's a 50-50 sometimes.
All
Always
right.
going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So like, what software do you use? Because like I know that like streaming, like doing the DJ set and also like piping it into VRC. I know I talked to Red about this in detail. Like his interview actually has a lot of detail about like what he did. And I don't know if his process has changed, because maybe his technology has improved since our interview. But like how do you go about like piping your music into VRC? And I guess do you do anything for visuals at all, or?
I have Magic V8 or V7, I forget, visualizer. I had to get a extension to add to OBS so I could stream from it. I'm not really good at visuals, so mine are very basic, just videos that change the hues and colors that are royalty free. But I would say Magic V7, OBS, an audio source so I can filter the music from record box through that to OBS without needing to do some other weird thing. Use banana audio something. Voice. But it's basically OBS to Twitch. So it's like 4 different things I use. 4 or 5 different things.
Okay, can you walk us through that in a more concise manner? Because I think you kind of mentioned things
Yes.
willy-nilly. So like what is the actual order by which everything kind of functions? You know.
Order is record box. Connect the record box to the audio. Input the program, like third-party program.
Is that
audio?
Is that third-party program your mixer?
Banana. Yeah, the mixer, the banana mixing thing that's on the computer.
Okay.
Audio. Banana audio.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't know the full name. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So record box to the audio. From the audio, I will switch to Magic V7, which connects to a program that I add, a widget that I had to add to OBS. So it goes in that line from that to OBS to my Twitch. So people can see the visuals I make or try to make and hear the music without me have back noise from my from talking through a mic or other sounds that might be playing in VR, because I have my headset so I can hear people. If it is the music playing in the world, make sure I don't accidentally have it muted, or if someone's trying to talk to me real fast about like something problem while I'm DJing. So having that being able to separate the audios is great for DJing, in my opinion.
Oh.
Yeah, that's basically the process I do with my programs. It's like a connection, like a power cord, you could say.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'm not sure what other DJs use, but that's what I do because it's the easiest for me.
Yep, and that's why I ask. That's exactly why I ask, because I want to know like your process. I there's never just one way to do something, so that's why I ask. But all right. Now that we've kind of talked about, you know, your process and DJing and world creation, like those are your specialties, and like those are the things that you're doing, like you're you're like a venue owner. Let me like I will ask you something more about that in our post show. So I'll ask you another question about that later on. But for now, I think it's time for, you know, our kind of staple topic of the Sweet Talking podcast. You know, we have some sweet voices here, but at the same time, we also gotta ask about the love life. We gotta ask about the love life. That's what we do here. We always do it here. So, as per usual, are you single, Mr. Voidless?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, do you are you single by choice, or is it for another reason?
Yes and no. Like, I mean, there are people I like. I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't like trying to rush into things. So I like taking my time to get to know the person. I can get attached to people kind of a little bit easy, kinda, in a different sense of like, hey, I like this person, I want to hang out with them a lot more. But I try to keep that on the low. But usually it's by choice. It is by choice because of my wanting to take time to know that person. Is that person cool enough, or do I actually like that person that way?
Oh, okay. So, all right. Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense to me. So, So, what is it that you said you take the time to get to know somebody? Like you try to talk to them, hang out with them, whatever. Obviously, not be annoying or overwhelming, or constantly hounding them. Getting attached, like you said. So, tell us about like what exactly I guess qualifies a person to be like someone that you're interested in. Like what's what do you look for?
Personality is one of the big things. People say kindness. Are they kind? How's their personality? Do they take shit from people? Are they someone who can actually fend for themselves? Like someone comes up, they can pop. I like someone who is strong. I'm gonna say strong, independent, but at the same time caring and still wants to put the time and effort into the relationship, if there is a relationship that ever happens, or someone who actually kind of like, I want to talk to this person, so messages and stuff like that. Like it has to be kind of more mutual in that sense of how I talk to people. I mean, of course, you could still like someone even if they don't have some of the qualities that you're looking for. But I would say strong, independent people that basically kind of have their shit together, and a good voice is also something that gets me. A good voice.
Gotcha. Okay. So my next question is with regards to that. Oh my gosh! Wow. What a time to have a brain fart. Okay, so, let me see. So, with all of those things in mind, so you're basically want someone who could literally kill you. That's an that's an anime reference. For those of you who don't know, that's an anime reference. That's an anime reference. From Cowboy Bebop.
I know.
Yeah.
Great anime.
It is.
If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah. But all right. So like in all seriousness, I mean, do you want someone who can literally kill you?
I mean, probably not kill me.
Probably,
but
but be strong enough to
be strong enough, that, like they don't need to be all muscles, like just strong in mind and someone who that can also inspire me a little bit. There are women I like. Won't name really anyone, but like, okay, they're strong, independent women. I like them. I'll slowly get to know them, but I won't try to get too attached, because I know me, can message people too much, and that's more of a subconscious. So.
Okay. So you mentioned women. Are you limited? Are you just like you're straight as a board?
Spanish? Like, say there are some people I find attractive mentally, but that would probably be the only thing I could get to is like a mental. Women would be more like beyond mental, physical as well. Yes, if with thinking that, so I can be mentally attracted to someone, but not sexually attracted to someone.
Right.
Sense, yeah. So it's like there's some guys I'm like mentally attracted to that I just want to like hang out, like, but probably won't go further than just like being able to be around them.
Gotcha.
If But you never know.
Okay.
You never know.
So if you were saying stuff in that short bit of time right there, I think your threshold may be a little too low. I'm a little too high. Yeah.
What did you catch?
I there was like 3 seconds of silence, and then you said, well, it's kind of like that, cause basically we're not. Yeah, your mouth was not moving. So
okay. Maybe lag because of the weather.
Possibly, but yeah. Anyway, can you like repeat that, like because like you said that you're mentally attracted to guys, or can be mentally attracted to guys and girls, but like so I guess go on with what you were saying before.
I would say physically, like if you were to take a more sexual stance on it, women would be sexually attracted to women, and probably very few, if any, guys I would actually be sexually attracted. There's probably like one, I would say.
Okay. So you're straight. I mean, essentially.
Essentially, yeah, I guess. You could say kind of
bi-curious. Yeah.
Curious, yeah.
We can go bi-curious. Cool. Yeah, I just again, these are all like these are fun little questions I really like to ask people who are comfortable with me asking them, of course. But yeah, so you said you're looking for someone who is strong, who is independent, who can fend for themselves. Did you ever have a different type? Was your last relationship that kind of person? And if they weren't, what kind of led you to having this kind of type?
I would say, well, that was 13 years ago, so. But I would say more as I get older and more I see like people that are like, they're women who say they're women, and it's like they act more like kids than they do as mature adults, I guess. And I mean, it is fine that also has its charms and attractions, and it's like I probably wouldn't be opposed to dating someone like that, because I said like you can't always find everything that you want in one person.
Correct. Yeah.
You can't be too selective all the time. There's going to be negatives, and you just, if you like the person, it's like, okay, we can get by that negatives, or we can work on it. But more and more, it's like I find like more mature women better. Sometimes it's gotta be like stern and to me,
Okay. Well, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh so hard, because you just basically said that you like to be stepped on. That's basically what you said.
Oh, not stepped on. Don't step on me.
You enjoy the steppies. It sounds like.
No.
Okay. So
like someone who can like, if I'm fucking up, I want someone who doesn't like just like
let you keep doing it.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to tell me, hey, you're doing something, you probably shouldn't do that. Actually talk to me. There's a lot of women and guys or friends and stuff, relationship or whatnot. I do things without knowing sometimes, and because subconsciously I'm doing it. And they don't say anything until it's like, I think I was doing something stupid. No one told me. I'm like, okay. But I want, like, if I was into a relationship with someone, I want that person to tell me, to communicate. Like, hey, you're doing something, you probably should do that. Let's work on it. I'm not going to judge you, just like, work on that. that aspect instead of just like completely abandoning the concept of, okay, he's doing this thing, I'm just going to throw him off to the side all of a sudden because like subconsciously like thinking like drunk Void.
Okay.
We don't talk about drunk Void.
Gotcha. All right. So I get that. I totally understand that. That makes perfect sense. Wanting someone who's gonna tell you, like, is gonna be straight up with you, is like the best thing that you can have. I think that's one of the best things that you can have when it comes to relationships. Someone who's gonna actually talk to you and tell you, hey, what's up? What you're doing is it's kind of a problem, but I'm willing to work with you on it. But if you're willing to work on it, I'm willing to like kind of deal with you as you work with it, type of thing. Like, so yeah, I totally understand that. I think that's essential for any relationship. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter whether you're straight, bi, pan, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's super important. So beyond having your type established, what is the number one thing that you absolutely need in a relationship? Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody, like what is the one thing that that absolutely should exist between you and that person?
Communication in a sense of a little bit of attention. Do you like attention? Everyone likes attention, but it's like actually communicate, talk to me, message me first before I message you times, things like that. Because more people might think of it is like, yeah, you don't need the other person, but knowing that they're actually putting some time into messaging you, tell you they love you, or just to see how you're doing, it actually brightens up anyone's day.
True.
Especially someone who you have a love interest in, or you love, or something like that. And I would say I message a lot of people, good morning, how are you? Just because I want to share that kindness to them. So they know that there's always someone there who cares. I can't message everyone, but I try to. The people I want to message the most will always get a message.
Yeah, which is extremely sweet. Very, very sweet. I try to do the same, probably at a much smaller scale than you do, but I try to do the same. It's hard for me, because I prefer to communicate with people who I genuinely like. What's it called? I like people who I need to say something to. Those are the people that I message. If I don't really have anything like specific to really say, then I typically just kind of keep my mouth shut and stay in my lane and give them a little bit of space. And I'm not even talking about romantically. I'm not even talking about it in a romantic sense. I'm just talking about people in general. I'm very much kind of like, I got my own stuff going on. I have things that I'm taking care of. And like, if I don't have anything like actual, like legitimately to talk about or to say to a person, I'm just gonna be like, I don't have anything to say. So I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna do mine. And hopefully they don't think that I hate them. like hopefully they're not.
God, they hate me.
Like, oh my gosh, they didn't message me one day, because like that's like the thing, because people get comfortable with getting those messages, and then when you don't do it one day, it's just like my entire world is crumbling. And like those are the people that I'm just like, yeah, I can't. That's just not a thing that I can do and deal with, because I need to be around people who can like understand that, like, like, one, I'm probably not in a relationship with you. Two, it doesn't mean that I hate you if I don't message you like every day. Like,
also
come on.
true.
Yeah, like it's just like some people can take it a little too out of proportion sometimes.
Say I've done that. Like message people. Well, I message people way too many times because I feel like when I hit a depression mode, it's something that just happens, and sometimes like I try to step back about it, and I apologize to the people that I'm sorry I messaged you. But that is more of me like thinking, because of the depression hitting you, there's only so much medicine can do. Only so much medicine can do.
Yeah.
To prevent that. and it's still something I suffer from. Messaging, like thinking I'm messaging or bothering people too much. So I try to back up, or if I know I message, like, let's say I message someone 3 times in a day, like, let's say it's hours afterwards each time,
Mm-hmm.
though, I'll say the fourth one apologizing for bothering them to hang out or talk or something like that. because the depression hits me and it gives me negative thoughts. It's not like I'm not.
I know what you
confident,
mean,
it's
though.
just like it's just something I can't.
Yeah.
'Cause, but it's something I've been working on and I'm trying to get better at. The
Yeah,
best I can.
yeah. That's really all that we can do. Like I 100% know what you mean by like, hey, negative, like intrusive thoughts. Like you just message someone, and like they haven't like gotten back to you. Like I don't feel bad like immediately, but it's like if I've like messaged someone a thing and it's actually something like relatively important and like I don't hear from them for like 2 or 3 days, it's just like I don't apologize.
Did they die?
Yeah, no, I don't apologize. It's just like wow,
Mm.
like I thought we were cool, you know, like I actually messaged about something relatively important, you know. So like that's like the most that I'll go. And sometimes like I try my best to not like get worked up, and like if I message somebody, to not get like worried that like I've insulted them or that I've like annoyed them. Like it's less of an insult, it's more of an annoyance. I don't want to be an annoyance to people. So like I genuinely don't want to be an annoyance to people. So like if I don't get a response back, then I'm just like, all right, I'll go on with my life, you know, I'll do my thing, and hopefully, you know, maybe they saw it, maybe they didn't, but whether they did or not, you know, my life is my life, and you know, I'll just kind of keep it moving. But you know, it does kind of bother me. It does kind of bother me sometimes, you know, when that happens.
Yeah.
Because again, generally speaking, I'm very, very like particular about like when I message people. It's always like with a purpose in most cases. So.
Yes.
So, speaking of having a purpose, the concept of I love you. At what point do you think it's a good idea to say that to somebody?
It depends on what type of love you're talking about. Because there's the I love you as
we're talking about romance
someone
here.
Special.
we're talking about romance here. That's what we're doing.
I would say don't say it. Let's say I have a crush on someone. Let's use you as an example. I crush on you. I find you attractive, you're great, you're a person. We've been talking for like a week. All of a sudden you get the I love you after a week. That's like, don't say that, don't do that. That's way too soon.
Yes.
Way too soon. You can say, I think I'm falling for you. That's okay to say to someone. Because like, you can get attached to someone, like get to know someone and like them a lot more. And it's like, more I get to know you, and more I'm like falling for you. But let's say 2-3 months pass, and you actually have full blown like feelings for that person completely, and you all of a sudden just say I love you out of just like because you've been holding in so long. That is somewhat okay, even if the person doesn't recuperate that love. It's okay because like that also gives that person the strongest hit that person is into you at the same time.
Undeniable.
And in between, if you say it, let's say you're drunk, you just say it. It's like, okay, you're just probably thinking they're drunk. But sometimes it could be a month or two someone actually full-blown loves you. At that point, I probably wouldn't still say it. I would probably ask that person out on a date. At that point, I mean, I'll probably still ask the person out if I like them enough on a date after 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If I feel like they're the type of person who wouldn't mind trying to go on a date within that time frame. But sometimes you just want to get to know the person, so
So
depends on timing.
Right. So in your opinion, I'm trying to get like your perspective on this. Like this isn't like about me. I'm just trying to see like your perspective on this whole thing. So like you would say that like after like 3 or 4 months or so, even like 3 or 4 weeks. Was it 3 or 4 weeks or 3 or 4 months? Did you say?
About 3 to 4 months, I said.
Okay.
About saying I love you to someone.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's relatively I think that's reasonable. I think like in this day and age, that's pretty reasonable. I mean, most people would say like within a week. Like most people are just like super like let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just figure it out. But yeah, I'm inclined to agree with kind of taking it easy, taking it slow, figuring things out, really truly assessing if there is interest and if the interest is mutual. Like assess for yourself if the interest is there, like for yourself, and then also assess if the interest is mutual. I think
true.
Yeah, I think people skip the mutual part of the equation, and they're just like, oh, it's what it is for me in my mind, so I'm just gonna go for it because it is what it is in my mind. And even then, they probably maybe not have given it too much thought. So yeah, definitely giving it time.
I'm guilty of that.
I mean, I think we've all had our moments. I think a lot of people have had their moments of like, yeah, like kind of, jumping the gun a little too quickly, a little too soon. It happens, and we learn. We live and we learn. So.
Oh, it's mainly social cues. I'm horrible with social cues. If you like me, just tell me. Just tell me I like you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll think about that.
Yeah. Just like if someone confesses to you, then all you can really do is like think about it, give it some thought, and see if that's something that maybe can be in your wheelhouse. But yeah. So yeah, I wanted to get like your perspective on that. And like, do you have anything that is an absolute deal breaker? Like if someone was just like, I have this thing going on, do you have anything that is like a 100% just like, yeah, no, sorry, absolutely not?
Someone who has murderous intent. If I talk to another, like, let's say I talk to another woman or something like that, and they have just like want to kill them, or very. I don't mind people being jealous, but it is extreme jealousy that I do not like. Do not like the negative hate that comes from that kind of stuff, or just a negative person in general. It's like I can't deal with someone who's always going to be negative, toxic towards me or the people I know, regardless if they're a stranger or not.
Regardless if they're hot or not.
Regardless if they're hot or not too, because
regardless if they have a nice voice or not.
Doesn't matter how hot you are. Regardless if they have a nice voice or not. But it really comes down like, hey, as long as you're not negative and hostile and toxic, we're good, we're great. But then again, if they're willing to work on that, I give them a chance,
So what you're saying is you're willing to give a yandere a chance to figure her shit out and no longer be yandere.
I don't die,
I'm asking the question, like, cause like you said, like even if you're like even if she's crazy, if she's willing to work on it, then I'm good. So I'm just
the person's willing to work on it, but if I don't see like improvements at all, even if it hurts me, I would probably end up breaking up with them because like I can't have that in my life.
My guy, you should know that before you're even in a relationship with them. Like, you shouldn't even have to figure that shit out until, like, you should know if they're crazy beforehand. Okay. Wait. How much of it was a joke?
the relationship part. I probably wouldn't date them. And honestly, I'm like, I would probably give you a chance if you work on it before anything, if I see improvements.
Okay.
But if not, it's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I don't need you killing my friends.
Or me. Like,
Or you.
or me. Yeah.
Or me.
Yeah, because
Or me.
yeah,
you know?
like there I have heard
I
so
quite
many
like living.
Yeah, I've heard so many horror stories of like people using like violence as a means to keep people in relationships with them. It's like that's wild shit, and
That's a story I could tell you about.
yeah, I'm
That
sure.
actually happened to me in VR.
Damn.
Someone tried to get into a relationship with me. Tell you off stream. It's kind of too much.
Yeah, I imagine it would, because like whenever I hear about stuff like that, it's just like it's mind blowing. That like, how did you even wind up with that person in the first place? Did you rush into it? Did you not talk to them? Did you not ask them questions? Like how? Like, but like when it happens, it's just it's so horrible. It really is just, it's absolutely horrible when that kind of stuff happens to people. But it's you make your bed and then you have to lay in it. With like all the choices that you make, the choices that we all make, we have to kind of live with those choices. But it really is just shitty that there are legitimately people out there who just need actual help and should legitimately like seek that out, and not take it out on the person who genuinely cared about them, But
100%.
yeah. But yeah. So basically, so no crazy people. Cool. I think most people.
No crazy people.
Yeah, I think most people can agree with that. Yeah. Just if you're crazy, you can be crazy all the way over there. Cool. Yeah. All right. So, I have 2 more questions for you. And
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna be seeing about kind of wrapping things up with our little interview. This is it's been a great talk. It's been a great talk. So, first question is, where would you like to be in 2 years?
Above ground. But no, in joke wise, I would say 2 years. I think I would still like to be in VR. And I would like to see my club become much bigger than it is. Probably win the lottery too, but yeah, I think seeing myself in 2 years, just like being alive, enjoying the music, enjoying the people, enjoying the DJs, watching people grow, and just generally just having a good, enjoyable time. I think that's the real thing. It's enjoying life.
All right. Nice. And my last question for you is, if you can give any manner of, well, not if, but do you have any manner of like advice, final words, anything that you'd like to say to the people who are listening in, who have been learning about you, who've been obviously like hearing about your experiences, all the things that you've accomplished, all the things that you do, like, is there any sort of encouragement that you'd like to give to the viewers and listeners? And it also cannot be your tag motto. It can't be the thing that you say to people.
I know.
Yeah, it can't be that. It has
I
to be
know
something
what you
else.
mean.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is something completely different. It's actually the main thing I think everyone should just do. Remember, even though you think life is horrible, the thing that you want to do is impossible. And you don't even try. Always try. Always try it, even if it's once, even if it's twice, because don't know what will happen. You can be successful, or it might not, but you tried, and that is the main thing. Always keep pushing forward. Don't stop, because if you stop, you die. But in general, just go for it. If that is what you want to do, Do it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you don't do it. It's a waste of your time. Go for it. You could be successful. You can make it in life. Anything's possible.
Okay. Great last words from our guest, VoidlessGhost. Nice. Very, very nice. So, before we jump into where people can find you, I want to take a quick second to I'm going to inform all of you guys that if you are interested in seeing more and seeing what happens, after the podcast ends, if you're interested in seeing more of that and, the things that we talk about after, any questions that people from the stream may have had, if you're interested in hearing any bonus questions that I may have for Voidless tonight, you can always feel free to check out my Patreon. I do provide that content is available on my Patreon for, I believe it's pretty much every tier except for the $1 one, the base level one. So if you're interested in checking out that content and partaking in that content, I do this for every guest. Every guest has post content. We have a little post stream afterwards. So if you're interested in seeing that and engaging in that, please do check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Neferty. That's where you can catch that, and also you're able to support me and what I'm doing for the community that I'm trying to create and the legacy that I'm trying to leave behind, as a streamer, as a content creator, and as a person in general. So I'd love to see you there. Please do check that out at patreon.com/Neferty. And we're going to go on and get this last bit of info from Voidless, and then we'll be wrapping up into the post content. So I hope to see you there. All right. So lastly, where can the people find you, Voidless? Alright, so now that you guys know where you can find VoidlessGhost, in case you have not, been in the loop, those of you who are watching on YouTube, maybe watching this in the future, hey, you've already found me on YouTube. Congratulations. Well done. So, but those of you who are watching on Twitch right now, because this is being recorded live on my channel, as well as on YouTube, actually. But if you'd like to find me on Twitch, that is twitch.tv/Neferty with 2 eyes. And also, my Twitter is also at Neferty with 2 eyes. So you can find me both there. You can also find me on YouTube at Neferty with 1 eye. And you can also, again, like I said earlier, you can find me on Patreon at Neferty with 1 eye. And I believe that's everywhere. Also, right, there's one more thing. If you'd like to keep up with the podcast and announcements regarding the podcast, there is a Twitter specifically for that called Sweet Talking Pod, at Sweet Talking Pod on Twitter, x.com, that you can check out. You can follow that. There are announcements, there are teases for new guests that are coming down the line. If you want to keep up in the know, if you want to be in the know before anyone else, you can definitely check that out. But if you want to be even further ahead of the game, even further ahead actually, you should join my Discord. And you can do that by finding me on VRC, which my name on VRC is Neferty with 1 eye. So I do not accept random friend requests, so do not random friend request me on VRC. I will not accept it. You need to know me. So, but you can find my profile on VRC, and that's a great way to get hooked up with my Discord. And also on Twitch, you can find my Discord there too. And also on YouTube, like all my Discord is linked everywhere. I have a link tree that has all of my socials. Everything is there on my link tree. So all those links are on Twitch and on YouTube, and on my YouTube, not on my YouTube. Well, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and my VRC profile. So, there we go. But yeah, that's where you can find me. In case you're interested in keeping up with me. I certainly hope that you are after tonight's interview with VoidlessGhost. I certainly really do appreciate you all tuning in to this episode 33 of the Sweet Talking Podcast. We do have another guest lined up for the next one. I will not be saying when that guest is. It is still very much a secret. So fingers crossed that everything kind of comes together. But I do intend to continue to keep doing this. I'm so excited for what 2024 is going to bring for the podcast, and I certainly hope that you all will be willing to come along with me on this journey as we do our best to have meaningful, important conversations together. So I certainly hope that you will come along with me for the ride, get to know me, and continue to, support what I'm doing here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. But until next time, you all, I hope you all will tune into the next episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast. I really do appreciate you all listening and tuning in, and we will see you next time. And as I said before, please stick around for the post show. Those of you who are on who are watching live or on Patreon, you guys will get this. But I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. But for the rest of you all, take care, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Bye bye.